So, when a man disrespects a woman, okay, the first thing anybody would say is that घर में माँ बहन नहीं है क्या? The question is it so difficult for us to establish respect in a man's heart for an unknown woman? Why is it so difficult for us to follow some basic ethics, basic values that we should be born with as humans?
If you have something worth respect, and if it is not respected, how do you stand to lose? How do you stand to lose? You named a few greats. You respect them, right? If you don't respect them, do they stand to lose anything? Will they be lowered because you don't respect them? You spit at the sky. Does the sky start crying? Let the men not respect you. That is not the question. The question is whether you deserve respect. That should be the fundamental question. That's the question every human being must be very concerned with. Have I elevated my life to a point of value? Is there something in me that deserves to be respected? First of all, self-respect. Do I respect myself? Really? Ego is one thing. Ego we all have. But do I have true self-respect? And if I really am someone who has cultivated inner value, then how is it a problem if a random fellow does not offer me respect? How is it a problem? Please tell me. How is it a problem?
So disrespect in the sense when men, okay, let's say one ABC guy, if he gropes
what did you say?
Let's say one ABC named guy, okay, he gropes a woman, okay, he gropes a woman, like
Gropes the woman,
okay, and let's say he harasses her. I'm talking about that kind of respect, like disrespect. We
So
live in a country.
Why do we allow such lowly, retarded beings to have a presence in our life? Why?
So what about strangers who do this in open areas like buses, like transport, like in bus stands, let's say, okay? What about those people? We are not even talking to them, but still they harass us. What about them?
So I answered this question in the discussion on rape. First thing is, you should be so empowered in all senses possible. Spiritual, financial, and in the sense of education and knowledge, that lowly beings don't get to come close to you. And then we said, man is a beast. He will still find ways to approach you. And then certain things are not within your control. You ignore. What can you do? What can you do?
Sir, moving on from the part sounds very nice. Ki, okay, you should become so empowered that you move on and all. All of that on a girl's part is very right. But is it justified on the man's part?
No, it is not justified. It is not justified. Now tell me, what do we do? Let's preach. Listen, all you men out here, it is not justified. Don't do it. Will you all behave as good boys? Say yes. They'll say yes. And that changes nothing. So what kind of security or assurance are you seeking from men? Remember, we are all beasts. All these assurances will be forgotten. In the moment of sexual excitation, everything is forgotten. So don't seek guarantees. They won't help you.
So, sir, the poor animals are getting raped. Only the female ones by the men. So why is it happening? Why are men so much eagerly they want to have?
See, you must understand, in animal kingdom, rape is very rare. Therefore, it is not a male versus female thing. It is a man versus woman thing. Understand the difference? In the entire animal kingdom, rape is very rare. In most species, it does not exist. Ours is the only privileged species because we are civilized and cultured and so on. It is a man versus woman thing, not a male versus female thing. Why in our species is rape so endemic? Why? Because in no other species has the woman taught to be so submissive. Because they are not cultured. Because they don't have traditions. The lion cannot rape the lioness. Impossible. Even though the lioness is physically a little weaker compared to the lion, but there is no way the lioness can rape the lioness. Not even monkeys rape female monkeys. Not possible, not happening. In no other species it is happening. But we have education and religion and culture and great books. We have an organized society. That's why rape happens. You have to understand where it is coming from. It is a mental thing, first of all, showing physical consequences. Rape is an ecosystem. Rape is a value system. Rape starts when the little girl is offered a pink dress and her twin brother is offered something else in white and black and gray. Rape is an ecosystem. Do you understand how much rape has to do with religion? You understand? You understand how much religion has to do with the inferior position of women? Have you gone into the old myths across all religious books of the world and seen how women have been punished and even raped? And so many times when women have been raped, the rapist has been lightly let off and the woman has been punished for being raped. That's not something new. That's coming from our tradition, our entire past. And that's the reason it is not happening in the animal kingdom, because they don't have those books. They don't have the notions that we as human beings have. They are creatures of instincts. But we are creatures of thought, and thought is conditioned. Do you understand this? So then how to tackle this menace of rape? You'll have to first of all drop the ecosystem that breeds rape. You cannot just talk of one particular movement. You cannot avoid that movement as long as the ecosystem thrives. Every little thing that enfeebles you must be seen for what it is and rejected. What is all this? The thing called chivalry. Reject it. Why must he pull your chair for you? Why must he open the door for you? Why must he pay for the date? Why must he be the provider of the family? Reject it. Why must you be continuously pregnant? Reject it. Why must you sacrifice your career for kids? Reject it. And don't say, what do all these things have to do with rape? They have a very clear connection. They all come from the same root. Probably rape started when man moved to farming. We do not know because there are no records. I'm speculating. Because that's when the notion of private property becomes affirmed. When you are in the jungle, nobody can own the jungle. If the fruit is there, it belongs to the one who picks it up. But when you become farmers, then the land is yours. And then you want to own stuff. What kind of stuff do you want to own? Stuff that appeals to you. Stuff that ingratiates your senses. Now, woman is a good stuff. Good to have sex with. And also she cooks well. And also I need manpower on the farm. She is the one who will produce sons for me. And those sons will be great things to bequeath my property to. And they'll be useful on the farm. And they'll be useful when it comes to brawls. That's the nature of the beast. To care for his self-interest. You cannot accuse the beast of being selfish. You have to realize that there has to be a particular way to protect yourself from the beast. And the way is, first of all, you don't remain a beast. If you remain a beast, then you will strike a Faustian bargain with the beast. You'll have a deal with the devil. You'll say, I accept submission to you. You just keep providing for me. You're talking of rape as something, that happens only sometimes. Come on, think of marital rape. Think of marital rape. A stranger gropes you. And you are very, very justified in resenting it. What if over a period of 5 decades, your own husband keeps groping you all the time? How will you complain? And to whom? Who will register it? But if you are weak, anybody will grope you. Don't complain. Rise. Gain power. And that is possible. When we entered agriculture, the principal source of power was the human muscle. And that's where historically women were handicapped. You had the uterus but not the muscle. Double handicap. Pregnancy and periods. But very little muscle mass, relatively, the handicap. Now the principal source of power is consciousness. There is no handicap. If you are educated, if you are knowledgeable, you have power. When you appear for a job interview, do they measure your muscle mass now? No. Even wars are won and lost not on the basis of muscle. The country having the better technology will win all the wars. The intellect and wisdom to guide the intellect. That's what the woman needs. Today there is no reason, no justification why you must remain submissive. Today if you are still submissive, you have only yourself to blame. Don't complain, don't sulk. Take ownership. Say, my life, my responsibility. And when it happens, and sometimes it will continue to happen, when it happens, tell yourself, this means I need to be still stronger. This means I need to be still stronger. If the fellow managed to hurt me in some way, emotionally, physically, I'll not blame the fellow. He's a beast. First of all, I'll tell myself I need to be still stronger. That does not mean that you don't need to launch an FIR. Obviously, somebody does something untoward. Do go and lodge an FIR. Do that. But that will never suffice. The same thing might happen again. Only real antidote is your own inner upliftment in both material and spiritual sense. As long as you keep carrying the old notions of the good girl and the good woman, you will only be polishing your chains. You don't need to be a good girl of the old type. You don't need to be the good wife of the old type. Drop those notions. A clear break from history is needed. History has nothing for you, I repeat.